The Meteoric ore blade is a funny weapon, and we're not talking about the ha-ha kind of funny. We're talking about the weird kind of funny. I so rarely see this weapon used during my many co-op sessions that it gets less use than my subscribe button. Unlike the normal kids at school, the ore blade scales with strength rather than dex, making it the perfect candidate to wield with both hands in your build, which is why I used it in my right hand with a wakizashi in my left for the entire run. The dual katana moveset is just that good. This weapon also has damage split into physical and magic, with intelligence scaling. If you want to make the most out of an intelligence scaling katana, you can throw this straight in storage and use Moonveil. The strength scaling is definitely the highlight of this weapon, along with the 20% bonus it does against gravity enemies. This weapon being located in the Caelid Waypoint Ruins places it pretty close to the Meteorite staff. Running into Caelid early to grab these two weapons would make for a great gravity-themed spellblade, if using spells is your preferred playstyle. Gravitas is the unchanging and non-unique Ash of War for this weapon. Going into this run, I thought it would be highly effective at stunning bosses like Renala and Melania, and it's not terrible, but they can quite easily avoid being staggered by the second part of the move by just performing another attack. Gravitas certainly has its utility in taking down flying enemies, clearing out trash mobs, and doing good poise damage, but against bosses, the better option to deal poise damage, in my experience, is the R2 attack. The Ore Blade has a unique one- and two-handed R2, where instead of this dexterous slice like on the other katanas, your character chops downward in a vertical swing, which is exactly how I would expect a strength-scaling gravity weapon to perform. The best way to use this weapon is probably with both hands, so you can get to a soft cap without too many points in strength. If you want to use the dual katana moveset, I highly suggest you use a heavy wakizashi. The low weight of this weapon balances out with the high weight of the ore blade, so light roll builds are much more attainable. For my stats, I used 60 vigor, 16 mind, 40 endurance, 60 strength, 14 dexterity, 24 intelligence, 9 faith, and 7 arcane. For talismans, I have the good old green turtle and Dragon Crest Great Shield, Erdtree's Favor +2 for more health, stamina, and equip load, and I used Shard of Alexander to power up Gravitas a little bit more, but with this dual katana moveset, it would just be better to have the Rotten Wing Sword insignia, so you can get that increased damage on successive attacks. This weapon has a cool look and an interesting bonus against gravity enemies. While it is one of the more underwhelming katanas in the game, this weapon class is so good it's still overall great to use. Saying a weapon is a below-average katana is like saying a cookie is a below-average insomnia cookie. For those of you who do not know what insomnia cookie is, these are these really fresh baked cookies you can get in all hours of the night in Philly. And way back in freshman year, my friends and I would walk to the food truck that had them at 34th and Market Street and have far too many calories way too late in the night. Good times.